God says, listen carefully, because tonight is not ordinary. Tonight, something is shifting in your house, in the realm around you. Archangel Michael is standing at the edge of your doorstep. He is not knocking with thunder. He is not shouting through the skies. He is whispering, begging, pleading. He is kneeling before God with urgency in his voice saying, please, allow them to open this now before it's too late. You may think you have time, but in the language of angels, every delay can change your divine outcome. Tonight, there is something entering your home, a shift, a presence, a decision being made behind your back, and Archangel Michael has seen it from the spiritual world. That's why he's been restlessly circling you. That's why your heart felt heavy without explanation today. That's why the lights flickered. That's why you woke up at that strange hour in the night and couldn't understand why your breath felt different, why the wind felt like it was carrying a voice. It was him. Archangel Michael. He stood beside your bed and whispered, please, open it. Please, listen. Just this once. God says you are loved deeply. That's why this message was allowed to be delivered to you. Because heaven sees what you don't. Because the spiritual world sees what's moving in shadows behind the curtain of your physical reality. God is showing something tonight, and if you don't open your soul, your spirit, your attention in this very hour, you might miss the divine sign meant only for you. Yes, only for you. This is not a general word. This is not a broadcast to all. This is a whisper behind the veil of heaven directed at your soul, calling you by name in the language of eternity. Archangel Michael says, I saw it before it entered your home. I saw what they did. I saw what they buried in silence. I saw the tears that were not yours, but connected to your destiny. And I saw the person, the one who is pretending to be your shield, the one who is telling you they are on your side, but in the night, they're whispering curses over your photo. They don't know that I heard them. They don't know that heaven records even the quietest words. God says tonight a truth will be revealed. Not in thunder. Not in explosions. But in a quiet unraveling. Something that will unfold like silk slipping off a table, slowly, without sound, but it will change everything. A conversation you were not meant to hear will be heard. A name you had forgotten will come up unexpectedly. And when that happens, you will remember this message. God says this is not to scare you. This is to prepare you. Because what was hidden from you was meant to remain hidden. The person responsible never expected heaven to intervene. But they forgot that your name is written in light. They forgot that your mother's prayers are still echoing through the spiritual halls of heaven. They forgot that Archangel Michael was assigned to you since birth, not to watch, but to protect, to battle, to cry when you're hurt, to roar when your destiny is under attack. Michael is alerting you tonight not for a distant future but for something happening within hours. Not days. Not weeks. But tonight. The shift will be quiet. But it will be visible to your spirit. That's why you must not be spiritually asleep. That's why you must not ignore this call. Archangel Michael says he saw a shadow enter through the hallway. Not physical, but energetic. It clings to someone close to you. This person does not know they are being used. They may love you, or pretend to. But their heart was infiltrated by jealousy. God says that's why your blessings felt delayed. That's why things have been stuck. Because someone's intention was secretly strangling your miracles. And tonight, the chain is breaking. But you must be awake. You must let Michael enter. Michael says, I beg of you, please open the door to this message. Do not scroll past it. Do not delay it for later. Because the moment your spirit accepts it, the war that was brewing behind your back will collapse in a blink. You were meant to see this right now, not a second later. That's why the angel assigned to your home is trembling with urgency. God says a photo was recently touched with ill intent. You don't even know it. But someone, somewhere, took an image that has you in it, and did something dark behind closed doors. It wasn't a stranger. It was someone you trusted. They touched the image and whispered something meant to curse. But they forgot that your soul was already claimed by God's hands. They forgot that heaven writes in fire. And tonight, fire is falling. The angel is not only warning you. He's here to restore what was taken. A name was erased from a list of blessings, yours. But it is being rewritten by fire from heaven. A phone call you thought would never come, is coming. A message that was blocked, will now be delivered. A document that was withheld, will now be signed. Because heaven is declaring, enough is enough. The delay ends tonight. Michael says, you don't even know what you were robbed of. You don't even know what conversations were happening about you in rooms you were never invited to. But I was there. I heard. I saw. I stood silently because God told me to wait. But now the order has been given. Intervene. Protect. Speak. That's why I'm screaming through this message. God says this may be your only window. This night may not repeat. Because the plan of darkness was perfectly timed. But so is the plan of heaven. That's why you're reading this now. You didn't stumble on this. You were led to it. There's a scroll unfolding in heaven with your name on it. And Michael is standing beside it with his sword glowing, ready to mark your destiny back on track. God says that a man, a familiar man, has been paid to hide something from you. He doesn't know you are about to find out. He thinks your eyes are still blind. But your spirit is awakening now. You are not who you were yesterday. You are evolving, elevating, emerging into the version heaven always designed you to be. That's why the attacks have intensified. But Michael is assigned to respond with equal force. Michael says, the reason you've been tired lately is not physical. Your soul is battling every night. When you sleep, your angels are fighting. That's why you wake up exhausted. That's why you feel drained around certain people. They are carrying energies not meant for your space. But you keep letting them in. Tonight, that changes. God says there is something under your roof that needs to be removed. It's an object. It might seem innocent. But it was placed or gifted with wrong energy. You will know it when you see it. You'll feel something strange about it. Don't doubt your discernment. When your body reacts, it's not fear, it's your spirit alerting you. Trust it. Remove it. Because the moment you do, peace will return. A flow will begin. Something will click. Heaven is not far. It is hovering close. Watching. Waiting. Holding its breath. Because your next decision will decide the direction of your breakthrough. This is not small. This is not symbolic. This is the exact moment you were meant to collide with destiny. Michael is still waiting. He's not angry. But he's desperate. He's pacing outside your spiritual door like a soldier on guard, waiting for the order to step in. But the key is in your hands. Not in prayers of perfection, but in your surrender. Just whisper to God, I open. I receive. Let your will be done. Protect my home. Send Michael in. That's all it takes. Tonight, someone who thought you would never know their secret will be exposed. It might come in a sentence. A look. A slip of the tongue. And you will know, heaven is real. The angels are not mythical. God has never forgotten you. Your pain was not invisible. Your battles were not in vain. Everything is shifting. Michael says, child of light, do not fear what's coming. Fear only what happens when you ignore the signs. But you are not ignoring this. That's why I'm here. That's why this message found you before midnight. That's why the next hours are crucial. God says He's removing the masks. One by one. A friend you trusted will be revealed for their betrayal. A voice you believed will be exposed for their lies. A plan that was set in silence will crumble in full light. Because God is bringing exposure. Not to hurt you, but to free you. Heaven is not asking you to act in revenge. Michael says, just be still. Let me fight. Let me speak. Let me enter. But don't shut the door again. The moment you do, you'll feel a shift. Your body may tremble. You may cry for no reason. That's not confusion. That's spiritual realignment. Even now, the clouds are moving. Even now, the spiritual world is preparing. Even now, someone is sensing something has changed, and they are growing afraid. Because they know their time is up. Because your angels have been activated. Michael says, I order you by love, not force. I command by protection, not pride. I beg you as your guardian, not as your master. Open. Listen. Accept. Because tonight, you are being watched by all of heaven. And we are ready to move. God says He's not just saving your house tonight. He's saving your legacy. Because what's being fought in silence is not just about today, it's about your children, your future, your finances, your spiritual name in the halls of heaven. And God refuses to let it be stolen without a divine defense. Your miracles were scheduled. Your blessings were ordered. But the hands of jealousy tried to reschedule your season. That's why Archangel Michael came with fire in his eyes. That's why this message is burning in your soul. Because the war is ending. The deception is dying. And you are rising. You are not alone. You never were. But tonight, more than ever, the angel that was assigned to you has come out of the shadows to declare, the war ends now. The truth begins. The house is being cleansed. And heaven is watching. God says you must not underestimate the timing of this message. There is a heavenly clock ticking in the spirit right now, and it is counting down. This is not just about spiritual poetry or comforting words. This is a real-time spiritual operation. There are angelic forces that have gathered around your home this very moment. They are standing at the gates. Some are holding scrolls. Some are holding swords. But one, only one, is crying. It is Michael. He is crying because you still doubt whether you are worthy of divine intervention. He's crying because he knows what you could have already stepped into, if only you believed how much God is in love with your destiny. The truth is, even now, heaven is silent for a second. Waiting. Watching. Listening to whether your heart opens or closes to this moment. Because one closed door in your spirit can delay years of breakthrough. And God does not want that for you. Not now. Not again. There is a vibration in your atmosphere right now. You've probably felt it, maybe as chills, maybe as pressure in your chest, maybe as a strange heat in your hands. That's not just emotion. That's divine presence activating you. You were not meant to be ordinary. You were marked to be a divine vessel, a carrier of light, a breaker of generational curses. And that's exactly why the darkness fought so hard to silence you. But Michael says no more silence. No more pretending. No more second-guessing your intuition. No more tolerating energy that drains you. Tonight is sacred. Tonight is divine reset. You may ask, why now? Why tonight? Why does it matter so much? Because while you slept last night, someone made a phone call. A decision was made about your name. Something was discussed behind your back, again. Someone used words not only to criticize but to sabotage. They thought it was clever. They thought you would never know. But an angel was listening in. And now, it has reached the ears of God. That's why this message is vibrating in your soul with urgency. Because the spiritual realm is responding faster than usual. This is divine acceleration. The blessings that were meant for later are being rushed to you. Why? Because someone was trying to intercept them. God will not allow that. Someone, out of jealousy or pain, tried to curse you in secret. But God intercepted the curse midair. The words came out of their mouth but never reached you. Instead, they bounced back. And now, they're dealing with confusion. With chaos. With a sudden fear they can't explain. Because heaven has declared your protection. Michael says he is not leaving your home tonight. He will remain, sword drawn, at every window, every door. Not just to block what's coming, but to cleanse what already entered. Yes, something slipped through weeks ago. Something was carried in, not physically, but spiritually, through a conversation, a visitor, a gift, or even a shared drink. You felt the shift. You ignored it. But your spirit knew. Tonight, that attachment is breaking. You might yawn. You might weep. You might feel suddenly light or dizzy. That is the release. That is your body responding to what your soul is releasing. Don't fear it. Embrace it. It is not darkness leaving you, it is light returning. God says there is a hidden inheritance, not just of money, but of spiritual authority, that you are about to uncover. It was promised to your ancestors, but never claimed. Because someone in your bloodline was silenced. Someone who carried prophetic power was cut off before they could speak. But you were born to complete the prophecy. You were born to open the scroll. You were born to speak what others were too afraid to declare. That's why the resistance has been so strong. You thought it was just bad luck. You thought it was just exhaustion. But it was war. Spiritual war. A war against your mouth, your mind, your money, your memory. But Michael says your memory is being restored tonight. Your spiritual DNA is being reawakened. Your divine assignment is being recalibrated. You are not late. You are right on time. Even now, a phone is vibrating. A message is waiting. A conversation is being planned around your name, and this time, it's not betrayal. It's divine setup. Someone who forgot about you is remembering. Someone who rejected you is repenting. Someone who walked away from your life is being spiritually pulled back, not to repeat the past, but to witness your elevation. God says your name is being whispered in rooms you have not entered yet. Michael says he stood beside a man last week, a man who was debating whether to bless you or block you. Michael did not speak. He just stared at the man's spirit. And the man trembled. Because angels don't need to raise their voices. Their silence is a roar. And after that encounter, that man could not sleep. He could not escape the thought of you. And he will act soon. He will reach out. He will offer what he once withheld. Be ready. A woman, too, someone older, has a letter. She wrote it. She almost destroyed it. But she didn't. She's still holding it. That letter carries an answer to a question you've been asking God. She doesn't know whether to send it. But tonight, she's feeling a spiritual pressure. Because heaven is surrounding her as well. This is not just about your house. This is a divine ripple. Every person connected to your spiritual purpose is feeling the vibration of this moment. They may not know what's happening. But their spirit knows. That's why some people will distance themselves. Not because they don't love you, but because they can't handle your elevation. God says, let them go. Bless them. But do not hold on to what can't grow with you. Your destiny requires light. And light exposes. If someone walks away after the light shines, it means they were never meant to go the distance with you. Michael says, you are entering a 24-hour window of divine reversal. Things are going to flip. Where there was loss, gain. Where there was silence, answers. Where there was confusion, clarity. And the person who thought they buried your opportunity is about to watch it resurrect. God says He is not waiting for your perfection. He's responding to your surrender. Just say yes. Just believe. Just ask. Just open. That's all. The angels are not moved by religious rituals. They're moved by authenticity. And tonight, your raw, unfiltered, desperate cry is all heaven needs. Even now, a spiritual document is being stamped. Angels are shouting. Trumpets are preparing to blow. You can't hear it with your ears, but your soul can. That's why your heart is racing. That's why your body feels heat. That's why your breath just shifted. God says your house will not be the same after this. Your sleep will be different. Your dreams will be clearer. Your energy will feel lighter. Your discernment will sharpen. And your spirit will soar. Because Archangel Michael has now been given full access to your space. This moment is sacred. God says write it down. This date. This hour. Because you will look back and remember this as the night everything began to change. You will say, it was true. The message was real. Heaven really saw me. God really intervened. The angel really came. And I didn't miss it. Michael is now silent. Not because he left, but because he is acting. He is not talking anymore. He is doing. And you are now covered. Even if the lights flicker, do not fear. Even if someone calls with strange energy, do not react. Even if an old friend suddenly confesses something shocking, remain calm. Because everything is unfolding according to heaven's perfect timeline. You are safe. God says, no more fear. No more doubt. No more spiritual blindness. You are mine. I called you. I protected you. I fought for you. And now, I bless you. God says, my beloved child, I am calling you now with great urgency. This is not a message to ignore. This is not something to leave for later or to put off with doubt. I, your Heavenly Father, am reaching into your space, into your heart, and into your very soul right now because something spiritual is happening tonight in your house, something not visible to your eyes but deeply shaking in the realms of spirit and truth. Archangel Michael stands at your side this very moment, pleading, not out of fear, but because of the enormous spiritual significance that has arrived at your doorstep. Listen, for this is sacred. You are not reading these words by accident. God says, my child, this message is your divine alarm. Archangel Michael is not asking anymore, he is commanding you, with all the righteous authority of heaven, to open your heart right now, not later, not tomorrow. In just a few hours, a heavenly shift will happen inside your home. The atmosphere will feel different. A silence might fall. A breeze without wind might touch your neck. You may sense someone near you, though no one physical stands close. That is not imagination. That is not a dream. That is the divine brushing past your world, leaving behind a trace, a sign, a message only you can feel. Do not fear it. It is the beginning of something destined for you, a supernatural intervention that no darkness can stop. God says, tonight, while the rest of the world sleeps, heaven will move. What has been hidden will be exposed. What was blocked will be broken. Archangel Michael is already circling your house with a ring of divine light. He is placing his sword in the soil of your doorway, declaring this sacred ground a holy space. He knows what tried to enter your home before, those unseen forces that came cloaked as bad luck, misunderstandings, endless delays, financial suffocation, and emotional confusion. Those were not random events. Those were planned attacks from spiritual enemies who did not want you to discover the full truth of your calling. But that season is ending tonight. God says, the devil trembles when you pray. He loses control every time you speak my name with real faith. That is why attacks increased. That is why delays grew. That is why some people turned against you, suddenly and without explanation. You kept asking, why did they change? Why did they lie? Why did they leave me when I needed them most? My child, it was spiritual. They were being used. They were sent to distract you from the door I was opening behind them. They were sent to keep you busy with heartbreak while I was releasing blessings behind the veil. But now the veil is tearing. The secrets are being exposed. Archangel Michael is standing with the scroll in his hand. It bears your name. God says, tonight, an angel will stand near your bed. He will watch over your sleep, for I do not slumber and I do not forget. That angel was assigned to you at birth. But tonight, he will carry a new instruction. He will war for you in the spirit while your body rests. You may feel sudden dreams that carry warnings, symbols, or messages. You may hear footsteps that aren't there. You may wake suddenly and feel the urge to pray. Don't ignore it. That is me. I am calling your spirit to attention. The war is no longer just around you, it's within the walls of your home, and that's why Michael had to intervene. God says, Michael is begging you for just 2 seconds. That is all he asks. 2 seconds of your heart open. 2 seconds of surrender. 2 seconds of trust. If you give it, just 2 seconds of belief, heaven will shake the earth for you. Angels will be dispatched to fight battles in realms you'll never see. People you've never met will suddenly speak your name and favor you. Documents that were lost will resurface. Money that was blocked will be released. But more importantly, the chain around your soul, the one nobody sees but weighs you down, will snap. That invisible spiritual prison will break, and you'll feel it. Freedom will flood you. Tears may fall, but they will be healing tears. God says, you are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not forgotten. The pain you've carried in silence has been recorded in heaven. Every sigh. Every moment you looked upward and whispered, God, I don't know what to do anymore, I heard it. And I responded, even when you saw no proof. My child, sometimes silence is not absence. Sometimes stillness is not neglect. Sometimes I wait, not because I'm cruel, but because I'm orchestrating something bigger than what your eyes can understand. Tonight, that orchestration comes to your doorstep. God says, your house is marked. Not by the enemy, but by me. A divine visitation is scheduled. Don't be afraid of it. Don't resist it. Welcome it. Even if you feel unworthy, even if you made mistakes, even if you feel too broken, my glory does not wait for perfection. I use the humble. I lift the crushed. I rebuild the shattered. Your wounds are not a disqualification, they are the invitation for miracles to begin. Michael is guarding your entrance not because danger is coming, but because glory is. God says, there are people who spoke against you in rooms you were never in. Their words were poisoned arrows sent toward your destiny. But I blocked every one. You were supposed to lose. You were supposed to fail. You were supposed to collapse under the pressure. But here you are, still breathing, still praying, still hoping. That is not weakness, that is spiritual warriorship. Heaven is proud of you. Michael salutes you. The enemy fears you, not because of who you are in the world, but because of who you are in me. God says, tonight, as you lie in your bed, release every fear to me. Speak to me. I will listen. I will speak back. Not always in words, but in signs. In stillness. In sudden moments of peace. In the scent of something beautiful you can't explain. In the dream that carries a message. I am speaking, my child. But you must silence the noise. Turn off the voice of fear. Shut down the lie that says you are too late. You are not too late. You are right on time. Michael's presence is not random. It is timed with heaven's calendar. God says, do not underestimate what this night is. It may feel quiet, but it is holy. It may feel ordinary, but it is sacred. What happens tonight in your house will echo for years. A new spiritual gate is being opened. Your lineage, those who came before you, are watching. Some of them who prayed for you while they lived, and some who failed you. But I, your God, am making something new. I am writing a story that doesn't repeat the pain of the past. I am doing something unprecedented. You are the one I chose to begin it. God says, the atmosphere of your house is changing. Anoint your doors with prayer. Speak blessings over every room. Call on my name aloud. Speak my promises. For I dwell in the praise of my people. Make your house a sanctuary. A hiding place for angels. A home where glory is welcomed. Because after tonight, things will never be the same. You will feel it. You will sense it. And if you open your eyes and your heart, you will see it. You will wake up and know, something entered. Something left. And something holy remained. God says, if you're afraid, I understand. That's why Michael was sent. He does not come to bring fear, but courage. He does not come to frighten, but to warn. He doesn't bring death, he brings breakthrough. He stands at your side now, his sword raised not against you, but for you. He is slashing through every lie that was spoken over your life. Every curse. Every plot. Every betrayal. Every dark agreement made in secret places to delay your destiny, Michael is breaking it. Tonight. God says, this message reached you because your spirit is ready. Even if your mind doubts, your spirit knows. The reason your heart races, the reason your skin tingles, the reason your eyes burn with sudden tears, it's not emotion. It's activation. I'm awakening you. I'm stirring the calling inside you that was buried under sorrow, shame, and struggle. It is rising now. Like a lion that slept too long. Like fire being poured onto dry bones. It will burn away the old. It will cleanse. It will prepare. You are the beginning of something bigger. God says, tell me your fears tonight. Whisper them. Cry them. I will hear. And I will answer, not always with thunder, but sometimes with soft whispers in your spirit. Trust that. Trust me. Let tonight be the night you surrender fully. I don't need perfect words. I just need a willing heart. And if you give me that, even for 2 seconds, heaven will release what has been held back. And your house will never be the same. God says, rest now, knowing you are not alone. Michael is near. The angels are guarding. And I, your Father, I never sleep. I will watch over you. I will shield your dreams. I will plant visions. I will cleanse the energy of your space. And in the morning, you will wake up and know, something happened. Something beautiful. Something sacred. And it began because you obeyed. Because you listened. Because you trusted, just for 2 seconds. God says, my child, I am with you. Now and always. God says, now that you have allowed my words into your heart, now that you've given me even the smallest opening, I will flood your soul with a peace that the world cannot understand. You will not see this coming in the way you expect, but you will feel it. Some will call it coincidence. But you will know. You will know because your spirit will leap at the exact moment the shift begins. Archangel Michael is preparing the atmosphere right now. Even as you read this, there is movement in the spirit realm, wings brushing against walls you cannot see, prayers you didn't even speak aloud are now being gathered, wrapped in fire, and delivered to my throne. God says, you have been asking me for a sign. You have been pleading, God, just let me know if you are really with me, if you really hear me. My child, this is that sign. This is not just another message. This is my voice through the sacred wind, reaching you at the exact second you needed it. This is me confirming that yes, you are chosen. Yes, you are protected. Yes, what has been happening to you is not normal because your calling is not ordinary. I allowed the pressure to prepare you. I allowed the delays to train your discernment. I allowed the isolation to give you a direct line to my voice. Now, you will begin to understand why. God says, the tears you cried last week were not wasted. They watered the ground for your miracle. The betrayal you experienced was not a setback, it was the exit of those who could not come with you into this next divine phase. Some people were not removed to hurt you, but to protect you. You couldn't see what I saw. You didn't know the conversations behind your back, the jealous intentions, the curses spoken through smiles. But I did. And I sent Michael to close the gate. Some of those people will try to return. Some will reach out suddenly with strange timing. You will feel conflicted. But I will give you the discernment. Trust what you feel in your spirit. God says, a mirror will break in your house soon, not a physical one, but a spiritual mirror. A mirror that has kept you trapped, thinking your value was limited, thinking your destiny was tied to what others thought. That mirror is being shattered by the hand of heaven. You are about to see yourself the way I see you. Not broken. Not forgotten. Not too late. But radiant. Powerful. Royal. You are my anointed one. And because of that, what comes next will be so unusual that even you will question whether it's real. But remember this moment. Remember this message. Remember what I am saying now, it is real. I am real. My protection is real. And this divine visitation tonight is real. God says, there is something hidden in your house. It is not an object, but a spirit that entered through pain. A presence that came through open wounds, generational doors, curses spoken by others, or agreements made without your knowing. It has whispered lies into your mind, that you're unloved, unworthy, too late, too broken. That presence has lingered for too long. But it has now been identified. And Michael will drive it out. There may be tension tonight. You may feel anxious. You may feel pressure in your chest, a weight on your shoulders, or a stirring in the air. That's not something wrong, it's something leaving. It's something that has no more legal right to stay. Light is exposing it. God says, say my name tonight out loud. even if you whisper it. Say, God, I invite you in. Say, Jesus, walk through my home. Say, Michael, guard every window and every corner. When you speak those words, heaven responds. Angels are released by faith-filled words. That's why the enemy tried so hard to silence your voice. That's why you've been feeling too tired to pray, too numb to speak, too defeated to worship. Because your voice is a spiritual weapon. But tonight, you will reclaim it. And when you do, you will feel the atmosphere change. It may feel like a gentle warmth, or like chills that run up your arms, or even tears that fall without warning. That is your soul exhaling after holding its breath for far too long. God says, there is a journal with your name on it in heaven. Every time you said, I can't do this anymore, it was recorded. Every time you thought, no one understands me, it was written. Every time you asked me to prove that I was still here, I heard. And now I answer with this, yes, I am here. I have always been here. But you are now ready to see what you couldn't before. I had to prepare the environment. I had to protect your mind. You were not late. You were being processed. And now the door opens. God says, there's a person you've been thinking about lately, a name that keeps coming back into your mind. You keep wondering, why now? Why this person again? That's not random. That is part of this divine moment. That person has something to confess, or something to give, or something to reveal. You will know who it is. Michael is bringing them into your orbit again, but not to repeat the past. This time, the truth comes out. This time, hidden motives will be revealed. This time, you will not be manipulated. Because you are not the same. Because your eyes have been opened. Because this time, heaven is involved. God says, prepare your space. Clean what you can. Light a candle. Play music that honors me. Make your room a place where angels feel welcome. Because tonight, while you sleep, they will walk through it. They will touch the walls. They will stand near your bed. They will whisper into your dreams. And something inside you will shift. A weight you didn't even know you were carrying will be lifted. A grief you never had words for will begin to heal. A question you've asked over and over will suddenly be answered, not with thunder, but with peace. God says, I know you want confirmation. I know you want something you can touch or see. So I will give you this. Within 48 hours, you will see a sign. It may come as a message, a dream, a number repeated, or a person from your past saying something unusual. It will be me. Watch closely. Don't dismiss it. It may come softly, but it will carry power. You'll know it's me because your spirit will leap. And when it does, Speak my name. Thank